Welcome to the Battleground of the Gods.
Welcome, challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I am your host, Dep Nation, and joining me today, none other than Riggs!
Just two guys having a good time. You remember that song?
Yeah. Not exactly.
Yeah, I think it was Lonely Island.
I'm thinking, was it Lonely Island?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, right?
I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking
having a good time. I don't remember the. That's the only part I remember. But
yeah. What is it? I don't know. I don't know what else. I might have been thinking about some Journey song or something. It's classic. It's the classic, right? It's the boomer in me, right?
Yeah, you did just turn 30, so now you're required to listen to like 80s music.
Right.
That's now your only genre you're allowed to listen to.
Crazy to think about, but it's like that was over 40 years ago. It doesn't seem like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh. Off to a fiery start. Riggs, why don't you start telling me about your games? How were your games?
I mean, you could also ask how I'm doing, but yeah, let's go right into the games.
Let's go right into the. You know what?
Wow,
yeah. Riggs, you look bad. How do you feel?
Oh yeah, dude, I feel great. The Colts on Thursday night, dude, won the best game of football I've ever watched in my whole life, dude. That was awesome. Never in doubt at all. If you didn't see the game or anything, or you don't care about football, basically, that might have been the worst football game ever broadcasted, maybe.
Oh, no.
It was dog shit. Both teams sucked. But
Who
my
are they
team
playing?
Is the Broncos.
Broncos.
Colts, Broncos, and I'm a huge Colts fan, and we just sucked a little bit less that night. But it wasn't. It was pretty close. It was bad. No team scored a touchdown the whole game.
I'm just curious, how'd you get to be an Indiana fan?
Well, I grew up wanting to play football. I wanted to be an NFL quarterback. Quickly, once I got to like junior high school, realized I was not talented enough for that. But throughout that process, I was like, yo, there's this really tall, lanky guy in Indiana who I kind of look up to because I'm a tall, lanky guy. Kind of has a big old forehead. Maybe you might know him, Peyton Manning.
Big old 5 head.
Yeah, big old noggin, just like I got one too.
Yeah.
So we're just so similar. I was like, well, I'll be Peyton Manning when I grow up. So I was like, he plays for the Colts. I like the Colts, and so yeah, just kind of spawned from there. I know I live all the way in Arizona, so it doesn't make any sense for me, but
it is what it is.
'Tis what it is. But
It is what it is.
For Smite, my games,
yes.
Not quite as bad as that Thursday night game. I've been slam jamming some queues. Did lose a lot, a huge losing streak going on. And there's one game in particular. I don't remember who I was playing. I think I was playing with Colorado, but I think I was like in a Discord call with like Bright and Fro and everybody. And I was streaming it. And I'm playing. I get mid for some reason, so I was like, "Fuck it, whatever." I'll just play Poseidon, and I'm going Blink. I got my Blink Poseidon
every time. Yeah.
Yeah, that game did not go great.
Oh no.
Who would have thought? Blink Poseidon not great. And
really?
It also doesn't help when you miss your own Krakens off your own setup.
Oh no.
There was a moment. I think it was, they had like a chalk. Yeah, they had a chalk ADC, right? So he's full damage, I respect it. He's running around mid camps, and it's just me and him, mano y mano, right? I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. We know what's about to happen, right?
You're looking at each other.
Yeah, we're looking at each other. I put my Whirlpool down, right? I hit him with the Whirlpool. It's sucking him. For some reason, I thought he was going to get sucked the other way. He went right, I went left. I cracked into the left, and I didn't even hit him at all with any part of the Kraken circle.
Oh, no.
It was so bad. And then my jungler came in. I had a Merc jungle. He comes running in and he autos the chalk here where the chalk start trading, and the merc dies and I end up like last hitting the kill. So I got my merc killed for that, but it was really funny. And then in the whole time, like I think like Fro and Bright are watching, and they're like, "Jesus Christ, that crack!" We all just start laughing. Oh man, it was bad. And then I redeemed myself a little bit. Later on, I played some ranked with Trevor.
Okay.
Still slowly grinding. I think I found the cheat code. If you guys play solo and ranked, or just in Conquest in general, but if you really want to grind some of that precious MMR, I think Mulan's a pretty good cheat code, dude. So I know I mentioned it a couple episodes ago.
Is she that good?
Well, you know how
I should say, is she that good at not getting banned?
She doesn't get banned.
Okay.
And I mentioned it a while ago, where it's like she's one of those gods where they just kept on buffing her, you know, whether it's a small buff,
and
big buff, quality of life.
They haven't hit her with nerfs. Yeah.
Yeah, when I mentioned it was like, when is she gonna hit that tipping point of she just has to be really, really strong at a certain point, just based off of how many buffs she's got. I think she's at that point for ranked, cause like,
okay,
me and you were just talking about it, right? We were watching SPL before this.
Yep. And
a lot of times right now you'll see junglers come over to solo lane at level 2 and do some wacky shit. Whether you're on the receiving end of that or your jungler is doing that, I think Mulan's really, really good. She can kind of survive if you get ganked like that. She does a shit ton of damage if your jungler comes over. She's really hard to kill in lane. She gets a lot of lane pressure just in general. You build Soul Eater on her. You build tank, whatever. Axe is really good right now. She doesn't even need Bluestone. You can just go Axe. She's really fucking good, I think, in ranked. Like, she's kind of like, she doesn't really lose the lane, and she gets infinite pressure, and then you can just go kill people.
What is it? Fizz items for soloing feel real good right now, don't they?
Yeah, any combination of like Glad Shield, Soul Eater, Manticore spikes.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Then insert, whatever items after that you want. But those three.
And if you're getting Axe, that's more yellow damage that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of Hero's Axe.
Okay.
I don't think Sundering Axe is that crazy, but Hero's Axe.
Hero's Axe, that's the one that gives your allies the shield, right?
Yeah, it's like a little mini shield it gives them. It's not like a huge shield, but it helps sometimes.
Decent, yeah. Okay.
That particular game, I rounded it out with a Brawlers and a Contagion, because they had a Vamana and a Cleo with Soul Eater and a bunch of healing. So, but
okay.
Yeah, I think Milan's pretty sick, dude. I'm not willing to say she's like the best solo laner, but that would be Guan in my opinion, and we'll get to Guan later. But he gets banned a lot, so you want someone grind the ladder. Mulan, pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to start slamming the solo ranked queues. Just hope I get solo lane and just spam Mulan.
What else happened? I don't... Dude, okay. Peek behind the curtain a little bit, right?
All right.
Is it just me, or is it so hard when you look at your game history to remember shit that happens in your games that's, like, worth saying anything about?
Well, here's the thing. You also weren't necessarily playing on rigs all week. Because we played a couple games together. But you were grabbing your chalk.
Oh, I'm always grabbing my chalk. You just don't see it.
Okay.
I don't remember those games, so if you want to take it away, be my guest.
Yeah, well, I start my week off. I've got like 3 worshippers left to get for my diamond challenge or star challenge on Thanatos. Got my extra star, picked it up. That was a win. Probably not going to play him for a while. And actually ended up playing him with you in Backlash the other day. But that's besides the point. That game, literally, I think it was 12 minutes. That had to be a surrender. But, I started off playing with Fro, and we've got a group of people in the Discord together. We're queuing it. We're gaming. We're big gamer hours, and we hit a point where we weren't doing so hot in a slash, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, we're leaving." It was me, Backlash, and Riggs. the boys grouping up, hanging out a little bit longer. We started slamming the queues, and we were catching dubs left and right. I think we played like 5 games in a row, only lost one of them. And oh no, strike that, reverse it. We played 3 games, won all 3. The next games were the following day, but 3 for 3. And we were doing some nasty stuff too. I picked up Nox, felt great in Slash, just doing all the setup. I think you were Kuzumbo, landing the pushes.
Oh, was that full damage Kuzumbo?
I think that was full damage Kuzumbo, yeah.
Yeah, I do have a rule when I play on that account that
we didn't do meta
properly.
No, we didn't. We weren't building properly or at least I should say I wasn't, for the second 2 games. And then there's the Slash where you go attack speed Zhong Kui, getting all the yellow numbers. I do remember that. Yeah. Why don't you tell us about this? Because this was a wonderful game.
Yeah, I do remember this now. Yeah, like I said, whenever I play on Chalk, which is my other account, I try to not smurf, basically, so I don't just like pick, good shit and build good shit. I pick stupid shit and I build stupid shit. Just to have fun, I'm usually playing with Rick or whoever. But yeah, so Zhong Kui, right? So if you don't know, his little I don't know what you want to call him, his little buddy that floats behind him, gives you a little auto.
His book, I think it's part of his 3.
Yeah, it's his passive for his 3. I don't know, just call it little buddy, his little buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Little mini Zhong. I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about
50%. 50% auto.
Yeah, that will proc basic attack items, basically. So let's say you have I don't know, Telkines, right? Which is, that's a green one, right? I always get that confused. Demonic is the pen one. Telkines is the green one.
Demonic's the pen. Telkines is the green.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so you'll get an extra Telkines proc from that auto. Same thing with Animosity, right? So if you have Animosity as your starter, you'll also get an Animosity proc from that little guy. So
Telkines, you're getting the Telkines proc. Demonic Grip, you're hitting that pen real early.
Yeah. So we load up into a Slash, and I think it was your suggestion, Deb, to play Zhong. Cause I was like, I don't know who I want to play, so you're like, play Zhong.
Well, you wanted to do something goofy, and I think I was picking Horus, and I'm like, wait a minute, attack speed Horus is fun. Why don't you go someone who's attack speed as well, Zhong Kui?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, he did have that little extra auto. Like, it's goofy, it's non-conventional. That should be fun, right?
And it procs items, so I mean, it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I was dead, and I saw all the yellow numbers popping up on your screen. It was ridiculous. I think Animosity and Telekines were procking for the same amount.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact numbers they're procking for, but yeah, there was a point. I think I was hitting Titan. I was autoing Titan down, and Deb was just spectating me, and it just sees like 6 yellow numbers every auto. Is insane. I don't remember my exact build. There's just basically just any attack speed or ring you can get, and then like Animosity and
you had Telekines, Demonic, Hastened, Toxic Blade, and then you did Bancroft's Claw.
Yeah,
with Animosity.
That was a fun game. Which also, fun fact, we want to talk about things that proc weird. Terra. You know how when you have your abilities down, you get like the buffed autos, kind of. You get the slow autos, and they do a little more damage. Well, that counts as an ability, which procs ability stuff.
No kidding.
So, it also procs twice for Animosity, because it counts as a second auto. Because it's like double. It's like a buffed auto that procs stuff.
Wild.
So you get 2 procs of Animosity on Terra as well if you have something up. So if you want to go attack speed Terra next time, maybe I'll do that next time if I'm on that account. I'll go attack speed Terra.
Yeah.
And you'll just see a bunch of yellow numbers on Terra as well. I think that's the only other one that works on. Might be wrong, but yeah, I do remember the attack speed Zhong Kui. That was a fun time.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And then my other games were in Nev's stream the other day. Playing a couple assaults. We first one, not great. I was Chronos, so useless passive.
I mean, you're in Nev stream. You're not gonna win those games. You already know that.
I mean, we won the second assault. I had Cuckoo though, so I Landon sneezes, Brainless 3, the wave. They can't ever push it. They had an Ares, so what do? I just ult the Ares every time he ults. Easy peasy.
You're telling me you had a Kukulkan on your team and Nev did not slam that to try to trade you for it?
She slammed to trade me for it. I forget what she had. She ended up with best stat. I don't know if she rerolled whatever. Which I don't know why. Like, Cuckoo's so much fun. He's the danger noodle. You do big numbers, and I did big numbers. It was a great time for me. And she's been having issues with her stream where if she's in a Discord call, it'll lag the stream. So wasn't in comms with Nev, but I was in comms with Supersonic Blur, SSB. We were chit-chatting it up. We were playing the games, and for the last game of the night, our Uno Mas, we're in an arena, and I'm like, you know what? Gonna let this be a win for us, right? SSB's picking up the recently buffed Vulcan. Please revert. He doesn't need to be where he's at right now. He was fine before. Just leave him be. High res, leave him be. But SSB is on the Vulcan. Nev's on the Kronunos. Then we got 2 more with us, and our poor Daji could not hit her chains for setup.
That's unlucky.
Big unlucky. But it's coming down to the end of the game. It's getting real close. I think we're within... We've got like maybe 11 tickets left, right? And SSB's like, I'm just going to ult this wave. And I'm like, oh, no, you don't. I'm like, hold it. And it's like they're all kind of grouped up near the wave right outside of their fountain. And I'm sneaking in from the other side of their fountain. They don't even see me coming. Throw up the ult. One somebody on the line. They go down. Hit the bestow. I see the Vulcan ult targeter already coming in. And there's someone there still inside my ultimate. What do? I hit him with the dash. Their reaction speed isn't fast enough. They don't beads. They don't aegis. They go down in the Vulcan ult with the kill to end the game. It was a real hype moment. You love to do it. That was also a damage Ganesh game.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm slowly starting to think that's just the only way you should play him ever.
I think you definitely need a Deso on him anytime you play him. At least a Deso.
Oh, absolutely.
Deso's so good on him.
I had Deso. I had my Charon's coin. Easy to get assists. Easy to evolve that puppy. Chronos Pendant, because being a Guardian, you have long ass cooldowns. Right? I had the Polynomicon. Easy. Dash people, slap them with the auto. Getting good numbers on them, right? Bancroft's Claw. It's just too good to not pick up. And then I was going an Obshard, but I didn't get to finish it. So, doing Ganesha things.
I want to talk about Vulcan for a second since you brought that up.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a PSA to all you assassin players out there. You got to step your fucking game up, dude. Most assassins fucking dog walk Vulcan. He is not this god you gotta be scared of, right? Yeah, he's annoying. His meatball sets him up pretty well for peel, but like,
yeah,
bro, so many assassins just eat Vulcan for breakfast, and I've seen so many people be like, "Yo, Vulcan's so OP now that you can't get cripple." Like, yeah, that's a pretty big change, but just like assassin, like you said, your dodgy couldn't hit chains, man. Like, I know the Vulcan's on your team, but like,
yeah.
You just like Vulcan's so easy to kill, man. Naja is super good right now. Naja destroys Vulcan. Thor eats Vulcan alive. Loki eats Vulcan alive. Pele
Yeah,
eats
and
Vulcan alive.
the enemy team had a Loki, and it got to a point where it's like I'd have to keep my eye out for the Loki. And, gotta love Ganesh Silence bringing him out of his stealth.
Yeah, that's always
Because
really,
so
really good.
many times I would hear him laughing, and I'd see where he was before he did it. So I'd like dash a direction and just activate my silence and then spin as fast as I possibly could to try and
you just
catch
start
him.
woo.
Yep.
I do that sometimes too. It's so fun whenever you have a stealth character. You just start playing Ganesh. You start whipping your camera in circles and just eventually get him.
Yep. So I was able to catch him out a couple times.
But that is my PSA. I do agree Vulcan's strong right now. I think it's fine. He deserves to be good for a while. He hasn't been good in fucking forever. But
I mean, of all the things they're changing, like they should have changed his passive. His passive's it's outdated.
I think they changed his passive pretty recently. Now it's like the Doom Orb thing. His
Is it-
passive before that used to be dog shit, I think. Now it's like
Yeah.
mini Doom Orb now.
Okay.
But
I guess
I agree. I agree. He's
but-
strong now. I also think it's kind of cool though that he's strong because I think Vulcan ult of all the big mage ults, I think Vulcan ult's like
Yeah.
the hypest one. Because there's
It
such like an
'Cause you
anticipation
send it.
for it.
You send it
Yeah.
and you can see it coming in when it's about to land. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's been a lot of Vulcan in SPL the past couple of days, and it's just like you just see a big Vulcan ult come out of nowhere, and just like woo, you just see it spinning down. You just get so excited. You're like yes.
Yeah. and then they pop the Aegis because they know it's coming.
Yeah, it just hits different than like a Poseidon ult or like a Ra ult or
It
something.
is,
You know,
yeah.
it's just there's something cool about it.
Ra ult is hype though. Ra ult is
Raw ult,
hype.
I would say blind raw ult or like through a wall raw ult or hype.
Through a wall,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you can see the person, I mean, fucking, what are you doing, right? You
Yeah.
got to go behind the wall.
Yeah. So
But yeah, I'm just looking at this assassin dude. I'm just gonna keep on going down the list. Cleo eats Vulcan alive. Let's see. Robin destroys Vulcan. Hunbat's now he's knockup immunity is 2. I think I'm basically anybody with a knockup immunity or really good range that can outrange his meatball.
Suki.
That's his only thing. Suki's kind of like a meh, maybe.
Okay.
But I do agree Vulcan's strong. I just assassin players, man, you guys gotta step up your game. Can't be letting these Vulcans run rampant, all right?
Oh. Well, 20 minutes for games. That's not too bad. We're on track. Now, like we said earlier, we were watching some SPL before recording here, and we started talking about one god that we've been seeing in the slow lane.
Slow lane.
Slow lane.
Hey, listen, sometimes
bringing
it's
it
pretty
back.
slow over there.
It is, but not if you're playing this god. With this god, you've got pressure.
Hell
This
yeah.
god is Guan Yu.
Speaking of a god that destroys Vulcan, Guan Yu, yeah. So I'll take the reins on this one.
Yeah.
Since I feel like it's required of me.
It might be.
So I don't forget, what do we call this? This is not the.
Well, we're not doing a full Battleground University breakdown, and I don't think we need to, but I think there's something that people are missing as part of his kit that's just wildly it
Really good.
beats out the competition. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll talk about builds for a second because that's part of the reason why we're seeing them so much. Axe just got buffed. Not a huge buff, but Axe is always really good on Guan. Anytime Axe is good, you'll see Guan. There's a few characters that do better with Axe than, let's say, like Bluestone or something. Guan's one of them. Anytime Axe is good, Guan will be on the rise. Specifically, like I said earlier, Hero's Axe. Guan loves a Hero's Axe.
Yep.
He's always going to be around his team. Hero's Axe just makes sense on him. It's good stats. Guan loves it. Second off, we've talked about these earrings before many times. We talked about spikes and all that. He's not really the best with spikes, to be honest, but Fey Blessed Hoops, man.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say this is the best magic defense item in the game. Regardless, if you can use even if you don't have a heal, regardless if you can use the passive. 60 magical procs, 350 health, 40 MP5, 10 CDR. You put another Magic D item up against this just based off stats alone, I don't think any of them come close. And then you add in the fact, in Guan Yu's case, Guan Yu can proc this heal so often. And it's got every stat Guan Yu loves. It has more health, it has a ton of MP5, Guan loves that, it has CDR, Guan loves that. As well as the good old classic Glad Shield. Glad Shield's good, Guan likes Glad Shield. There you go. Then you can obviously mix and match. Breastplate's always good on Guan. CDR, mana, always good on Guan. Yeah. And then always CAD Shield. I don't know. I feel like the item's not bought as much as it should be on certain characters. CAD Shield should always be bought on Guan, in my opinion. And then, like Depp was saying, we have his abilities, right? Now, obviously, I think a lot of people would probably know, right? He has a heal, he has a dash, he spins his blade, and he has a horse, right?
Right.
What you were saying, though, he has some stuff that maybe goes under the radar, and it kind of separates a really good Guan player from just like someone who just locks in randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Guan's heal reduces all of his cooldowns by 2 seconds if you heal an ally. That has to be a god, can't be a minion, can't be yourself, has to be an ally god. 2 seconds is a lot. Then you add in his dash, right? It's a short little dash, does good damage, does a slow. Also, if you hit an enemy with that, it reduces your cooldowns by another 2 seconds. You get where I'm going with this. You have full CDR. You're dashing in a fight. Make sure your abilities are on cooldown before you use either your 1 or your 3, right? So make sure you're using your 3. Then you either dash them.
Oh, yeah.
And then use something to make it worth getting your abilities on cooldown, right? So get your abilities on cooldown, and then use either your heal your teammates or dash in to reduce that 3's cooldown again. And you'll have it back up in it's crazy how fast you'll have it back up. That's why you've seen some people, like maybe you watch SPL and you'll see like a Guan ult into a fight, right? He starts off by ulting in, does a lot, does some shenanigans in the fight, whatever. Ends up having his ult back in like 20 seconds. That's because he's dashing people, he's healing people, he's dashing again. You get so much CDR on this. It's crazy. That's why I always get pissed off.
2 seconds is huge.
Yeah, I always get pissed off. I know we've talked about it before when we'll see Guan in a patch notes and they'll be like, we have increased Guan's cooldowns by 1 second. It's like awesome. Because that doesn't do anything in there.
No.
I feel like they always touch Guan's cooldowns instead of like other things whenever they buff or nerf him. It's like he doesn't need those because he gets so much CDR in his build and the passive. Like that's such a lazy fix, I think, in my opinion. But that's besides the point. Yeah. Always be by your team when you're playing Guan. Especially later on in the game. Maybe not like super early, but regardless of the mode, always be around your team, healing your team. It benefits them. Obviously, it heals them. Benefits you, reduces your cooldowns. Use your 3 before you dash. Put your 3 on a lower cooldown when you dash through them. Your horse, little tip with the horse, right? Obviously, it lasts a decent amount of time if you want to hit all the hits. Does a lot of damage. But as long as you have your full passive, which is pretty easy to get, your stun is I think it's like a 3.5 second stun or a 4 second stun if you have your full passive.
2 seconds.
It's
normally 1.5.
1.5, and then it gets boosted to 3.5, I think, because it adds 2 seconds onto it. I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
Maybe I might be wrong on that. It feels like
I might be just a 2 second.
It might just be 2 seconds. I think you're right. It does feel like it lasts forever though.
Right.
But when you get on your horse, right, hop on that shit, auto once, and then immediately cancel it. Sets up so much damage for your team. If your team's around you, they don't expect it. Usually they're gonna wait till the end of it to like Aegis or beads because they're waiting for you to use all of it. It's a nice little mind game you can play on someone, or you don't even have to auto once. You can literally insta cancel it and just insta stun them. People don't expect that. A lot of fun stuff you can do on Guan. That is why I think he's very good.
Start picking up Guan in the solo lane or in general. In
general, yeah. Even if you don't play Conquest, he's still pretty good.
The 2 seconds you're getting on your 1 and your 2 for cooldowns like we're saying, overlooked part of his kit. Wild utility. And I think you get that regardless if you have your passive fully stacked or not.
Yeah, you get it regardless. So.
Yeah.
And then your passive is really easy to get stacked. Your 3 procs it, like, I think most of the ticks that you need 20 stacks. I think your 3 gets you like 16, I think. So
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to get, and your passive is very good as well, right? Basically just boosts all your abilities, makes them do even more shit. Guan Yu is really good, man.
Yeah.
One of the most bloated kits in the game, I think.
And a kit that has good synergy. Like we're saying, hit the 2, you get cooldown reduction. 1 on your team. It promotes team play too, right? So,
yeah, Guan Yu is one of the best, like team. I think probably maybe the best team fight warrior.
Yeah.
Is
so
bonkers, man.
We love Guan. We love Guan.
He's annoying as fuck to play against, so we kind of love Guan.
For sure.
We only halfway love.
We only like Guan when he's on our team.
Yeah, when he's against you, he's annoying as hell.
Yeah. So that is our little look into Guan Yu.
And if you get him in ranked, good luck, because he's usually always banned. So.
Yeah. Why don't we? All this talk about gods has me thinking. We sent a challenge out to our listeners to build us a mage for the community corner. Why don't we head on over to our community corner channel and let's read us what mages our listeners have made us and see if they can beat you. Can they beat you, Riggs?
I don't think
or
they
do you
can
have
beat
a
me, man.
do you have a monster?
I have a pretty big monster. I have 2 of them. I have like a more auto attack focused and a more traditional mage focus. So.
Okay. Well,
would you like me to start off?
I'd like for you to start us off. I know you've been talking about Guan Yu. You need to get you out of the Guan Yu mindset before.
Yeah. All right. So, like we said, this was actually a while ago. It's over probably like a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
We're on the final class of the make a god out of the existing abilities thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we are onto mages, and should I even read Rick's? I mean, Rick coming in just says Freya.
Yeah.
What a fucking disgrace this is, dude. So, when we did Warriors, he had a great idea. He goes, hey, why don't we have, the first ever magical warrior that can switch between melee and ranged autos. And it was this great idea for a kit. Fantastic idea for a warrior kit. Then he comes in here with this fucking bullshit and says Freya as a mage. What is this? Go back to Hunt Showdown. Stop trying to play Smite again. Go back to Hunt. This was a disgrace. Get this shit off of my. I'm gonna delete it.
There's someone called Botg Champion that says you win already.
Yeah, it's funny how things change in a month.
Did he beat what you have? Yeah. Okay.
It's funny how things change in a month. At first I thought it was a good bit, and then I realized, wait a minute, this fucking guy doesn't have any morals.
No.
He had Freya as a warrior, and now he's switching it up. Freya as a mage.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a fucking side, dude. Stand for something or fall for everything, Rick. All right. Anyways.
Yeah.
Daniel Storm. We got Eset 1, Anubis 2, Baba 3, what the hell? And Nuwa ult, and Nuwa passive as well. So we got Flappy Wings, got the stun, you got Baba 3.
Yeah.
I feel like Baba 3 is a really weird one. I feel like that's got it. I don't know. I just hate Baba.
But there's mixed feelings about Baba.
But Baba
I mean, Nuwa ult, Nuwa ult means you have top damage every game.
Yeah,
or you should.
That is happening. You are getting top damage.
You are getting top damage. And Nuwa passive, it's good. I don't know.
I think it's really good. Yeah, I think it's a little underrated, but
Yeah, but I think there's some better passives out there. Still, good God,
Just Baba 3,
you
man.
know,
I'm just stuck on
Baba
Baba
3.
3. Baba 3.
Yeah.
That's got to be awful, right? I don't know.
I don't know.
I just hate Baba, dude. Maybe I'm just biased.
I guess, yeah, could be a bias.
Then we got Beard, aka Norse and Around. I like when he does these because he kind of like
He
makes an existing god, but he like creates a kit for them.
he uses the existing gods kits, but yeah, picks out someone who isn't in the game.
Yeah. So his is Kojin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a Japanese pantheon. He's god of the hearth. Is that how you say it? Hearth?
Hearth, so it's like a fireplace.
Gotcha. Ah, is that why it's Hearthstone and it's all fire? Ah,
Yeah.
Oh, look at me learning on a Sunday morning. All right.
Right?
So we've got Soul's auto attacks. Pretty good. Baron's passive. Dude, fuck Baron's Brew, man. I hate that shit. It ruins my store. I'm trying to go buy a potion. It's in the wrong spot. And I end up buying 2 mana pots and I walk out of base, man.
I think we've been over this before.
I just hate Baron's Brew.
Man, you're so full of hate today.
Dude,
go have a coffee.
Mages suck. Mages just kept me brewing.
I should have put Guan Yu. It's in this one, like Rick put Freya. Guan Yu, the best mage. Release Guan did have magic damage.
So we've got Soul's autos, Baron's Brew as passive, Huge Wings 1,
Okay.
Baba Yaga's 2. Dude, what is all this Baba Yaga shit, man?
Baba Yaga stuff, man.
Ra's 3 and Eset ult. Kojin is the god of hearth, fire / kitchen. Oh, I guess I could have just looked at that.
Yeah.
Couldn't find too much about him. Basically the concept of cooking fire. So yeah, I think that one's better. I think that's the best one so far. But you know, mine still has to get read. So next up we have, how you say this? Hypnos.
Hypnos.
I don't know why the N in that is throwing me off. And sorry, not the N, the H.
The H does, yeah, silent H.
The H throws me off right there. A non-kamikaze Hebo is what he's got brewing for us. So you got Janus 1, nice little portal. Scylla 2, big old circle. Raijin 3, and Hebo ult. So Hebo with 2 escapes, basically.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Pretty solid. And think if you could throw the 2, get them in the slow circle, 1 through it, and then pop it after, because it's got the shred on there.
Yeah, you could. And then just ult them after and just boom.
It's a better one shot. Yeah.
Next up we have
pretty good.
Is this Pet Esports or Pete Sports? I'm reading that as Pet Esports.
Here's the thing. I don't think we can be wrong.
I'm just gonna say Pet.
It could be Pete Sports.
It could also be Pete Sports. I didn't think about that. We have Ao Kwang's ult and the Oleron. What is Oleron passive? I don't even know what Oleron passive is.
Oleron passive is crits. Crits based on power.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So, Ao Kwang ult, Oleron passive, so you can crit. Janus 1, pretty good. Hera's polymorph as her second ability. Vulcan's meatball. Oh, and then Ao Kwang ult. I forgot ult was first. So, Janus 1, Hera 2, Vulcan 3, Ao Kwang ult. I dig it.
Yeah.
Got a good CC on this code. And an execute. I dig it. He also has a second entry where it is
he does.
Anubis passive, which Depp has enlightened me on in the past. That is OP as fuck. Anubis passive. Nox 1, disgusting. Merlin's Ice 2, very specific. I appreciate it with the stand switcher stuff. I will say it's probably his worst ability, but good on you. Poseidon's Whirlpool and Hades ult. So this is just ticks.
Yeah. And the passive gets you that crowd control reduction real fast.
Oh yeah, because okay, I gotcha.
Mhm.
Listen, I appreciate that there was a common theme here. I respect it.
You know, there's nothing our community isn't if not consistent.
I will say probably not the best one I've seen so far, but I respect that you had morals and you stuck to them, unlike Rick.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
next up we
Trying to
have
say Freya's a mage.
this fucking guy, dude.
And Bright. You want me to take this one?
I'll take Enbright just because I love
right.
this one. And I'll let you take
All
the
right.
rest.
I'll pick up after.
So Enbright's he has a special one called the Nev.
Mm-hmm.
And after the passive, I'm sure you can see where it's going. You got Vulcan passive.
Mm-hmm.
Like we mentioned earlier, like mini do more, pretty good. First ability is Scylla's 1. Good cripple root. Which, fun fact, now that roots are affected by DR, you could, if they have max stacks of DR and you Scylla one somebody, they can just walk out of it and they'll still be crippled afterwards. Because the cripple will last the full duration, but the root doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's really goofy sometimes. Then second ability, you have Nox 2.
Mm-hmm.
Third ability, you have Cuckoo's Tornado. I'm sure that's Nev's favorite ability.
Yeah. Has to be.
And finally, we have Soul's ult. And together, all these abilities and passive create the Nev. Just a blend of all of Nev's cringe mage picks that she loves, can't get enough of.
Can't get enough of it.
By the way, Nev's not here. Fro's not here.
Oh yeah. 40 minutes in. Two hosts, not with us.
Yeah, just in case you couldn't tell, it's just me and Dev.
If you couldn't tell.
But yeah. And then Nev said, she's not gonna hit any abilities, so she's not gonna get her passive, which, it's just kind of true.
I think the joke's that she would never activate the passive because she can't hit an auto.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so how does Nev play Smite then? Because she can't hit autos. She just said she doesn't hit abilities. What does she do? And she streams this game a lot. So what is Nev? I know you're editing this week. Is a question to you. What do you do in Smite if you don't hit autos and you don't hit abilities?
Yeah.
Just curious. I know you make yourself a potato sometimes. So I guess that's kind of cool. But if you want to take over Dep with Sasquatch,
yeah, I'll take lead here. Sasquatch coming in. Sasquatch the Mage, Discordia 1, Zeus 2, Raijin 3, Hades ult, and Chronos passive. Okay.
Chronos passive, man, really playing for the late game, huh?
Yeah, that's not one you see too often. Chronos passive. And Hades ult. Like, I feel like the
Hades ult's busted,
sucks.
Man.
Okay, is it? I guess I need to read it more.
Gives you 160 each prots.
That is pretty nice.
And reduces their prots.
Now, can that overcap?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is pretty good then. We have next one here. Play my intro. Thanking Fro, letting him know that he could still get his entry in passive funeral rites. That is the E-set passive. First ability, Giannis Portal. Second ability, Soul 2. We have third ability, Thoth, putting up the wall. And the fourth ability, Opwash, empty the crypts.
I'm confused as to where the synergy is with Thoth Wall.
Isn't that the third one? Isn't 3 Thoth Wall?
Yeah, that's the wall.
Yeah.
I'm confused as to where that comes into play with the other abilities, but I mean,
yeah.
I guess you would still get the bonus damage because it gives you bonus damage. It won't do anything with range or anything.
Yeah. Interesting though. Different take we haven't seen yet. Next one we have Hasasaurus. Nuwa passive, hitting those roots. Okay. He'd love to combine it with Yu Huang autos if possible. I don't think we can. We've got Ra 1 for the first ability. We have Yu Huang 2. So the root with a ton of damage. Ability 3, we have Hebo 3. Got the knockup. And fourth ability, Chronos ult. Plan on staying alive. Doing damage and staying alive.
Yeah.
Lock them down, blow them up, and...
On an unrelated topic, they should make alternate timeline work like a mini Chronos ult.
I'll like take you back where you were like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, maybe lower the time or something, but make it to where you don't just stand in place.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would make it less of a meme and more useful for sure.
An actual item, yeah.
Yeah. And then Fro G not here. Coming in, we have the Oleron passive, the crit, and I guess 5% extra basic scaling. I'll have to read that ability too because I thought it was just the crits.
Yeah, when I read
Freya
it earlier,
1,
it does make your autos have like a tiny bit more scaling.
Mm-hmm. Freya 1 functions like normal. Oleron 2 functions like normal, gives you some wave clear. Ra 3 for the prots, the power, the heal, and the damage. And then ESET 4. And I quote, once fully charged, a semi-truck going 70 miles an hour blasts through every enemy HP bar. While a fairy comes through with magical kisses, healing all allies. Seems fair.
I think Fro's a big fan of ESET ult.
I think... And I might have been talking with some challengers. I think there's a lot of fans of ESET ult. Thing is, you gotta wait for it to charge up.
Yeah.
So for objective secure, fantastic ability. Objective fighting, fantastic ability.
I have been on record saying that I think ESET's kit, regardless of where like the damage and all that, like where the numbers are at right now, I think her kit in general might be the best kit in the game.
Okay.
Just as far as like what the kit does, like to separate the damage numbers and all that from like what the actual shit does, like because damage will always get changed and all that. But I think her kit's insane.
Yeah. The what was it? Now, and granted, this was a cooldowns mode, so grain of salt. But her silence and the shield that it gives, pretty wild.
Yeah, and I mean that's got nerfed a while too. Like, but. Yeah, just the fact that you silence people for a while and give a shield. The only thing missing on her kit is like a true escape. That's it. She has really good CC, really good damage, healing, silence.
I think the escape is you stand in your ult.
Just CDR and a passive, like.
Yeah.
She is pretty good.
Riggs, why don't you wow us with what you've come up with?
All right, so like I said, I have two. Got your traditional, more damagey.
What? Go with one of them, and then I'll come in, and then you can do the second. How about that?
All right, so I'll do my auto attack one first.
Okay.
So, Oleron's autos. I feel like they're the best for all the magical ADCs. Nuwa passive. And I know earlier you were like, it's kind of, it's weird a little bit. But if I'm an auto attack mage and I'm rooting people for every 5 autos.
For just landing autos, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is great, especially at lower levels. Because it lets you land those extra free autos when they really count.
Yeah. And then I've got Cuckoo Sneeze. Straightforward, good slow, good damage. Oleron's 2, good little stim. More attack speed. I've got Nox Dash. I think Nox Dash is pretty sick. I know it's not like the most damaging ability, but hiding inside of a teammate, I think pretty good. And on the train of Fro, I am also on ESET ult. That is my auto attack mage.
Oh man, that went a lot faster than I thought it was gonna go. Not gonna lie.
Did you not make yours yet?
I mean, I have some ideas, and maybe you know what? Here, I'll just work through it here on cam. Well, not on camera.
Well, if
We're not
you want,
no visual this week.
if you want, I can do my other one while you go, and I can maybe space it out a little bit.
Let's do that.
Okay. So, my other mage, more traditional sense kind of mage. I've got Morrigan's auto attacks. So I get the little. Technically, her passive is like tied into her autos, so I don't think I would get the explosion damage, but I would still get the AOE.
The AOE is the third one.
Yeah, I just don't think it would like tick. So I mean, it is what it is. But for passives, I've got Ao Kuang's passive. It's a pretty good passive. Every 10 seconds, I get a stack. Every time I hit somebody, I get a reduced cooldown on that ability. And I get a heal. Pretty decent. I've got Huge Wings 1. I think someone else had it as well.
What is Huge Wings 1?
It's the fire circle.
Okay.
So it does a lot of tick damage, and it is pretty low cooldown. It's only like a 9-second cooldown at max rank.
Okay.
It's a pretty good annoying poke, I'd say.
Yeah.
This is one I had trouble with, right? So I didn't have any CC on this god originally, and I kind of go back and forth with it still. Originally, I had Morrigan's 2, because I think Morrigan 2 is kind of underrated. You know, just base level, right? It's just a line, does damage, that's it. Clears waves, that's about it. If you hit a god, though, it marks them, and then if they get hit by any other ability, whether it's yours or your allies, it also procs again for basically double damage, which I think people don't take into consideration a lot of times. That's why a lot of times you'll see like a Morrigan, right? They go invis, they stun somebody, and then they 2 them, and then they instantly transform and they hit them with an ability, because that will proc that 2 that you already had on them that mark, and it does like a ton of damage. But like I said, I didn't have any CC in the kit, so I swapped that out with ESET 2. I am known for hitting some fadeaways. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good on the court, you know. I'm a big baller. So just naturally, I just don't miss ESET 2. So I'll give myself a stun.
All right.
For my 3, I don't really have a traditional escape in the sense, but I have Discordia 3. Little immunity frames for the lad, and some cooldowns for my 1 and 2 get lowered. So I will constantly have spirit balls be thrown out. I will constantly be huge wanging on people.
Huge wanging on people.
And then my ult, you know, like I said, I don't miss Janus ult.
Okay. All right, not bad. We like it. We like it.
You know I'm hitting some snipes.
I'm zeroing in. I'm zeroing in on what I want for my ultimate. Right?
Dude, there's a lot of options.
There's some pretty good options out there.
Okay, you know what I learned while doing this? There are a lot of really good mage first and second abilities. There's a lot of really good ones.
Yep. But you know what? I think I have the auto attack mage that could win it all. You know? It could take the cake.
Do you have Jean-Quis 3 so you can double proc items?
I have Jean-Quis 3. How'd you know? I've got Oleron passive getting those crits. A small auto that can also crit. Thank you very much. Now here's the tricky part. I'm going with the Ao Kuang model for the auto attacks. So you're thinking, wait a minute, that's a melee god. What are you doing with that? Well, we're throwing in a Freya too. get those ranged autos. And with that fast auto attack chain, ooh, it's a machine gun flying out from that, man. And you've got the little buck shooting as well.
Wait, how does that work?
It's
with the
Danger Town.
progression?
It's with each auto attack.
So, well, because Freya doesn't have an auto attack chain. So
Right.
when she uses her 2, it's just based on the duration. But
Right.
How would that work? That's I like it. I like it.
Right?
Your brain has done.
You know,
some
we're
good things
doing
here.
stuff. And the one is kind of what I was stuck on, because like you said, there's some pretty good ones out there. And I was thinking, you know, out of all the ones, Scylla is probably the one that I'm gonna go with. I was up in the air. I was like, oh, maybe Chang'e. Obviously, this is a guide you take into the jungle. You're probably not laning with this. This is the Sneak Master 5000, right?
Yeah, this is the coming out of the jungle. I'm gonna crit you with my mage autos, and you're dead.
With my ranged slowing double mage autos, and there's gonna be numbers on this build. And then for the ultimate, I feel like you almost don't need one. But if you're going to be close, if you're going to be doing it to him, He-Ball ult is just as good as any other doing massive damage.
Solid. Did you ever say a third ability?
Zonkui 3. You
Oh,
got the
yeah,
book.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. I had this in mind. I was like, listen, Ao Kuang auto chain, but with Freya too, it's going to be wild. Cuz like you said, it's a duration thing. It's not so many autos, it's a duration thing. So, I feel like with the different builds out there, you get a hastened ring. Ooh. Danger Town.
So all we need to do with your god is just find out a way to make animosity work in the jungle.
Exactly.
And you're golden.
Which maybe hold on the starter and then just pick it up when you can build straight into it.
Yeah, you would just not build benevolence and then.
So you would probably go into, like, honestly, Bancroft's tier 2, right?
Maybe, or either that or like do more tier 2.
Because it I think it scales well with auto attacks. Like auto healing from lifesteal is much better than ability healing from lifesteal. And with a god that focuses on auto attacks, you know, so
Listen, I like it. I think yours is better than my auto attack mage, I would say.
but I mean, you could throw in that you're using the Ao Kuang model if you wanted to, because I think you picked up Freya 2 as well, didn't you?
No, I did Olorun too. I did Olorun's autos and Olorun too. But mine was mine was the new WoD passive with the auto, so I'm constantly rooting people. I'm rooting in 2.
Yeah. I mean, and like that would have been a good one too. But I think the crits switching to ranged and the fast auto chain with the Zonghui book, I don't think there's much you can do against it. Cuz you don't need demonic grip if you're going, like, it's crit, right? You're going to be critting.
That you
So-
don't have any options to build crit on your mage. You just have to rely on you getting lucky and building enough power that gets you crit.
Well, it's 150 for the first 15%. 150 power. So, I had him pulled up. Mages, Olaron. I can read it here. Touch of Fate. Upon reaching 150 magical power from items, Olaron gains 15% crit hit chance and a further 1% per 10 magical power from items. So again, that plays into Bancroft's, you know, and if you're lower health, you have a higher chance of critting. So his crits only deal 30% increased damage, but still additionally gains 5% extra scaling on basic attacks. And I'm pretty sure the way Zonghui 3 is written is it is a 50% basic attack.
Yeah.
So 50% plus the 5% extra scaling, and then 30% for crits. Let's not forget, Zhonghui 3 stuns, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a short stun if people are getting close, so you're kind of safe. Freya 2 slowing people.
You are slam jamming on this god.
Yeah. I thought about doing Freya 1 as well, but I think that's just too much focus on auto attack. You know?
Yeah, and
Like if you get disarmed, you're kind of
You're not happy.
No. So this was a fun one. I like doing these. And obviously we'll take a week before we figure out what the next community corner is.
I think we're gonna do.
Nev didn't get to make one.
I think we were gonna do one from each class, right?
Are we gonna do make a god, but you have to pick one for? So there's 5 to choose from. Passive 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't reuse a class, so
yeah, you have to be. Yeah, I don't. We'll figure out the details of it. I think that's what's gonna be. It's gonna be. Yeah, like Deb said, you have passive and all your abilities. Pick one from each class. You can only use one class, and then whatever autos you want. But
yeah. I wanted to do a stance switcher one as well.
Oh yeah, that was also on the cards too. I forgot.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Not too bad. Not too bad. Good community corner. Good input from the community. We love to see it. Well, Riggs, I think this is bringing us towards the end of the episode. Why don't I thank some people that's on our usual suspects list? We have Sadons. Thank you for the thumbnails. We always appreciate it. Thank you, Raging Cajun, for the artwork commissions. Tip your artist, everybody. And thank you to all of our lovely patrons. Your names are Ario, Asbestos, Weatherman, Keith, Jade, Flagon, Baseball, Griff, Bombi, Danny, Caveman, Neo, Coffin Monkey, CDRlets, Gilly, Snorlax, Weatherman, Adios, Sir Embers, K-Brojo, Freak, Stuff, Backlash, Sadon, Dr. Godfucker, Lantern, Reese, Warlord, Yo, Batskid, Echo Dunk, Doc, Necros, Otter Joe, Riggs, Dracon, Glenwiggle, Granite Boys, Camo House, Void vs. Void, and Bright, Scion Gemini, Batman 7839, Sandman, Aquasoft, Kilowatt Man, I'm a Hater, Mr. Man 77, Colorado, Amberbug, Folk Hero, and The Big Red. Thank you all. And I think I heard some new names in there. I'm not sure, but
yeah, there's definitely a couple.
Welcome, new patrons.
Thank you guys. I'm gonna we'll figure out. We're gonna get some extra Patreon content for you guys. I feel like we've been a little bit dry there.
We have been a little bit dry.
Like Bryce, I know Bryce mentioned it last week. We might start doing some like tier lists or some shit over there, and you guys can hear us argue about nothing.
Oh, I love tier lists. Tier lists are great.
You can hear us argue about stupid shit. Which Pixar movies are the best? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Ooh, Pixar. That might come to blows. If we were in the same room, it would be a bad time.
We said that last week too. I don't know why Pixar just came up, but like in our host group chat we have, for some reason we started talking about Pixar movies and which ones are good and all that, and then it just became a whole thing. And now that's on the brain.
Here's the thing too. I think my Pixar movie knowledge ends with like WALL-E. I think that was the last one I watched.
So I'll give you guys a little taste of the Patreon episode. WALL-E fucking sucks, dude.
Dude, WALL-E slaps.
WALL-E sucks, dude. You're telling me they just fucking turned that ship around because a dumb plant grew in a boot?
Yep.
Like, what are we doing here, right? You're telling me you see the condition of Earth when they turn around. That is not, you're not living on that place, dude. You gotta get a million more WALL-Es to clean that shit up first.
I think I think they've got some big WALL-Es.
They had some big ones,
those
were
on the ship.
Working.
They were on the ship too.
I think WALL-E was like the only one doing shit, dude. He was the only one putting in his work. All the other WALL-Es on Earth were doing nothing. But a leaf grew in a boot, so now we can go home.
Mm-hmm. We can go. Well, it's like proof that life exists, right?
Well, yeah.
So
It's proof that Earth can sustain life, but I don't know if I'm willing to go back to Earth because a leaf grew. I think I need some more examples first.
Right.
Especially
Well,
'cause
I
you
mean,
don't
they
have- you
land
don't-
and then you see like, oh, there's an entire field of these things, right?
Especially because you don't have any more bones. You're just mush now. You're just a mush human. Anyways, that's Wally. Wally.
Let's get out. Let's get out of here, Riggs. Goodbye, everybody.
Deuces.